Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Aubrey, and I'm a part-time reseller on many platforms, including eBay, where I've sold over 700 items, many of them jewelry, in the last 3.5 years that I've been a part-time reseller. I have a few tips and tricks for you today if you're interested in also selling jewelry on eBay. For me personally, I really only like to sell genuine sterling silver, gold, gemstones. I'm not really into selling costume jewelry. It's not to say that there isn't some money in selling costume jewelry, it's just not what I enjoy. Jewelry is one of my favorite things to sell because it takes up very little room in my inventory. I'm a person who struggles with having a lot of clutter. It bothers me to have clutter. I don't enjoy it, and so I really enjoy collecting things that are very small, and I also love that it's a widely appreciated market. It's not something that I mind holding on to. It's something that I feel like my children will enjoy and I could potentially leave to them someday. And some of my items will appreciate, including the older vintage Navajo stuff that is not being made the same way. I feel like it's a good investment for me. So if there are things that I don't want to sell or that don't sell right away, I feel like they could potentially be worth a lot more money in the future. So today, along with giving you some tips and tricks to selling jewelry on eBay, I will also be sharing with you a lot that I purchased. It was $500, which is a substantial amount of money for me. It is a high risk, high reward situation where the more you put in, the more you can potentially take out. I do buy lots that are sterling silver and cost quite a bit less. I can pick up lots sometimes for $35, $40, and that's great, and I can usually make a profit. But unless there's something really special or something unique, it can be hard to flip things that just really are kind of run of the mill. It's harder to flip, just basic stuff. But the Navajo stuff I pay up for, but I can generally make a pretty good profit. So I thought this would be a good lot to share with you because it is my very favorite thing to sell. I love to sell diamonds. They're definitely up there, but Navajo jewelry is absolutely my favorite. So let's get right into it, and I will go ahead and show you what I got in this lot and then also give you some tips along the way. As I previously mentioned, I spent roughly $500 on this jewelry lot. Here's the breakdown for you. It was $456 for the original bid. They didn't charge me any fees or shipping, but I did pay $40.40 tax. There are 18 rings altogether, so that works out to around $27 a ring if I'm not mistaken. Now, I also mentioned that I only really like to sell genuine jewelry, so that's how this particular video will be based. The first tip is that if you want to sell genuine sterling silver, gold, gemstone jewelry, it's really appropriate to get the right tools. Some of those tools include silver tester. Now there are really advanced methods for testing silver and gold that can cost hundreds of dollars. But if you're just getting started, some of the things that you could use are an acid test, which runs about $25. There's a diamond tester, which is also about $15. A diamond tester will typically test other types of gemstones as well. It's not going to give you the exact type of gemstone necessarily, but it will let you know the heat index of a gem, so it can tell you whether it's a real crystal, a real diamond, or if it's glass. Some other things you might want are a jewelry loop, a ring sizer, and a bracelet sizer. This ring is really beautiful. I love how it has this height to it. It has a cool effect when you touch it. It just has such a good feel. This setting style is called inlay, and a lot of times the Zuni jewelry has this inlay style. This is also an onyx ring. You see this cross detail here, and also the Thunderbird, which is a pretty common Native American Navajo symbol is the Thunderbird. This is a nice turquoise ring. And this is a bear paw turquoise chip inlay ring. I like the bear paw jewelry. Some of it doesn't sell for a ton of money actually, but it is a style that I really like. My second tip is if you are selling jewelry or anything else really on eBay at all, you're always going to want to strive for 100% positive feedback. Some ways that you can do that are definitely being accurate with your listings. Testing your jewelry is a great way to do that. And also really quick shipping speed can help get the positive feedback. A lot of buyers do send feedback, so it's not hard to really attain 100%. But just make sure that if there are complaints or things are going wrong, that you're addressing those and looking towards the long term, because positive feedback is something that really helps your sales. If you start to get the negative stuff on your account, it can really, really disrupt the amount of sales that you're getting, also affect your status. So it will actually affect the algorithm of how many views that you get on your site. This is a coral ring, which is another common Navajo theme. Most of these rings sell for about $60. To make a profit, I really need to make at least $57 a ring. When you account for eBay fees, a good rule of thumb is to make double your money at least, because my eBay fees with promotions, like promoted listings, and all the fees generally run about 20%. This piece is gorgeous. I love this so much. It has this huge presentation, a nice piece of turquoise, and a good size. When you're selling rings, the ring size can definitely have an impact on how well a piece will sell. A lot of Indian rings, or Native American I should say, will run really small. So when you can get the bigger sizes, that's definitely a benefit. That's a really cool one. I think one of my favorites is this one right here. This is a Mexican fire jelly opal, which is not a common stone at all. It's pretty rare to find. So this is a higher end ring. I think I can get about $125. The one thing that's a little bit disappointing is I don't believe that this is Navajo, which is how this lot was sold to me. I believe that this is probably a ring from Mexico, which is still a southwestern kind of style, and it is similar, but doesn't quite have the value. It is beautiful though, and I'm really happy with it. There's one other ring that came from Mexico in this lot, and it's also beautiful, and it's definitely genuine turquoise, but it is not Navajo. It's not something I would complain to the seller about or leave negative feedback, but it's not quite accurate the way that it was sold. I still think this ring is worth about $60, so I should be okay. Now, when you're selling Native American jewelry, one of the major things that can impact the price is if the ring is signed. Now, there are places that you can go to identify the different signatures for the makers. This one is marked RB, which I believe is Robert Begay. And I will link in the comments the place that I find is the best for identifying Native American marks. But that is going to have a huge impact. It's always best to research the pieces that you're selling and see if you can identify the maker, because particular makers can sell for way more than if it's just an unmarked piece. So that's nice. Here's another one of the typical turquoise and coral rings. It's heavy and has a good quality. You will notice that some of these are thick with the detailing has a more substantial feel to it, and some will be thinner, almost like paper. My fourth tip is to take risks when you're buying jewelry. Definitely buy the things that you like. If it calls to you, if it's something that you love, chances are someone else is going to love it too. Some of the items that sell better are animal items. Things with cats tend to sell really well. Things that are unique. You always want to find something that's just a little bit different compared to just your typical styles. Things that everybody has, they're going to be a harder sell than if an item is really unique. So listen to your instincts and buy the things that call to you. Also, it sounds silly, but when I started getting really into jewelry, I watched a lot of a TV channel like similar to QVC. You guys may have heard of it. It's called JTV, and they sell so much jewelry. They have tons of different stones, and it's good to familiarize yourself with the different stones that are in jewelry to know what you could potentially be looking at. And it may sound silly to just sit down and watch jewelry television, but it can be really helpful in identifying certain stones. So that's something that I would recommend. This is a nice piece of turquoise. I like the way this feels a lot. It's a super clean feel to it. It's probably about a 6, so it's not a great size, but it's not a terrible size either. I'd say the ideal sizes are between like 6 and 10. Most of these this ring I would say is valued around like, I don't know, $70, something like that. So there is a local market in my area for rings. I live in an area that has a lot of tourism, and people come to this area to find this kind of Southwestern stuff. It's what they expect from where I live. So I do have quite a bit of luck selling jewelry locally. This is a nice sized piece. This is another style that you see quite frequently. And it has this shell design. These are mother of pearl shells and malachite in there. You can see it's signed. It's signed with one of the older marks there where it's actually scratched into the surface as opposed to like a stamp. And it's another like, not quite a 6. But with a large presentation, I think I can get probably around $70. And my last tip is don't overpay. It can be tempting, especially when bidding on lots on eBay, to get carried away and to want something and to overpay for it. And that's something a lot of resellers get caught up in. But you really do have to calculate how much you can get. Like I said, a rule of thumb that's good is double. Because with fees, it can just get overwhelming. And then if you're paying taxes on it and you're considering your cost to ship and all of that, it's just not worth it unless you can make at least double your money. So although it's good to take risks, it also is good to be careful and to definitely do your math and be informed and make good choices. And part of that is researching the pieces that you buy before you actually buy them. See what they're selling for. Do a lot of looking items up on eBay and seeing exactly what they're selling for. And if you haven't done that before, you actually need the eBay app, and then you have to go to the sold listings. And I'm not just talking about what things are listed as, but what they have actually sold for. So research is your best friend. That's another inlay ring. It's pretty nice, but not as nice as the last one. And the last ring here is another turquoise ring. Now, like I said, all these are sterling silver. And this one is signed Shub. I think they come out of like, oh, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think they come out of North Dakota or something like that. But this ring is also worth about $65. So all in all, I should come out on top. I should be able to make a profit here, especially with this beautiful ring here. And I really hope you guys enjoyed my video. Sorry, my light just died there, but if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe so we can continue to bring you some content. And if you have videos you'd like to see or things that you think I could have done better, please leave a comment and I would be happy to make some different types of videos or to take your suggestions. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night or whatever time it is, and we'll see you next time.